In this new chapter of the Insidious universe, the darkness feels closer than ever. The trailer does not begin with safety or peace. Instead, it pulls us straight into a world where silence feels dangerous. Every sound, every shadow, every empty room carries a hidden fear. It feels like something is watching, even when nothing is there. The story reminds us that this is not the first time the evil has appeared. In the past, people thought they had escaped it. They believed the door to the further had been sealed. But horror never truly ends in this world. It only waits for the right moment to return. And now, that moment has arrived again. A new key is introduced, one that is not just a simple object, but a symbol of danger. This key is not meant to open a normal door. It is connected to something far worse, something buried deep in the past, something that should have never been touched. The trailer builds tension by showing that once this key is used, there is no turning back. Strange events begin to unfold. Lights flicker without reason. Walls whisper when no one is near. People start seeing things that should not exist. These are not normal scares. They feel personal, as if the darkness knows exactly who to target. It is not just haunting a house. It is hunting minds. At the center of this return is a feeling of unfinished business. The past is not staying buried anymore. Old secrets are breaking open. Every clue suggests that something was left behind in the shadows, waiting for the right person to find it again. And now that it has been found, everything begins to collapse. The fear grows slowly but strongly. The trailer does not rely only on jump scares. Instead, it builds a heavy feeling of pressure, like something is slowly closing in. The audience is made to feel trapped, just like the characters. There is no safe place left, not even in memories. As the darkness returns, one thing becomes clear. This is not just another haunting. This is a warning. A reminder that some doors should never be opened and some keys should never be used. But curiosity, fear, and fate have already made their choice. And once again, the nightmare begins. To understand the fear behind the last key, we first need to remember where this nightmare began. The Insidious universe is not just about haunted houses or random ghosts. It is about a hidden world that exists beside our own world, a place called the Further, where lost souls, trapped spirits, and dark forces live in endless silence. In earlier stories, families believed they were facing simple hauntings, but they soon learned the truth was far worse. These were not normal spirits. These were entities that could cross over from the Further into the real world. They could attach themselves to people, follow them, and even control their lives. Once they noticed you, escaping them was not easy. Each film showed a different piece of this terrifying puzzle. Families tried to run. Some tried to fight back. Some even tried to ignore what was happening, hoping it would go away. But the darkness never truly left. It only changed form. It waited behind closed doors, in mirrors, in shadows, and even inside memories. One of the most disturbing parts of this universe is that the Further is not far away. It is connected to us in ways we cannot fully understand. It can be reached through fear, trauma, and sometimes even through objects that carry dark energy. That is why nothing ever feels truly safe in this world. Over time, viewers learned a simple truth. Every ending in Insidious is not really an ending. It is only a pause, a moment where the evil steps back, before returning stronger than before. Every victory comes with a hidden cost, and every closed door hides the risk of being opened again. That is why the idea of the last key feels so important. It is not just a title. It is a warning connected to everything that has happened before. It suggests that something from the past is still unfinished, something that was never fully destroyed. The trailer carefully connects these past events to the present story. It reminds us that the evil, was never fully defeated. It was only pushed away, locked behind barriers that were never meant to hold forever. And now, those barriers are weakening. As the history of Insidious builds in our minds, the tension also grows, because we begin to realize something very important. This new chapter is not starting from zero. It is continuing a story that was already broken and never fixed. The past is no longer just a memory. It is becoming active again, and everything that was once buried in darkness is now. The trailer shifts its focus to something small but deeply powerful: a key. At first, it looks simple, just a metal object tied to an old mystery. But in the world of Insidious, nothing is ever just what it looks like. This key is not about opening a normal lock. It is about unlocking something far more dangerous, something that was never meant to be reached again. As the story unfolds, the key becomes a symbol of fear. It carries the weight of the past and the danger of the future at the same time. Every time it appears on screen, the feeling changes. The air becomes heavier. The silence becomes louder. It is as if the key itself knows what it is capable of doing. Strange events start happening around it. People who come near it begin to experience disturbing visions. Some see places that do not exist in the real world. Others hear voices calling their names from nowhere. It feels like the key is not just an object, but a connection point between our world and something much darker. The trailer builds tension by showing that the key has a history. It was not just found randomly. It was hidden for a reason. Someone, in the past, tried to keep it away from human hands. But over time, secrets get uncovered. And now, that protection is gone. The lock has been broken, and what was sealed away is starting to respond. What makes this even more terrifying is the idea that the key does not just open doors in the physical world. It may also open doors inside the mind. Memories begin to change. Dreams feel real. Reality starts to blur. The line between what is real and what is not becomes harder to see. Characters in the story begin to realize something is wrong, but it is already too late. The influence of the key spreads slowly, like a poison that cannot be seen. Fear grows in places where logic used to exist. Trust begins to break, even within the same people trying to survive. The deeper meaning becomes clear as the trailer continues. This key is not just unlocking the further. It may also be unlocking something inside the people who touch it, something buried deep in their past, something they never wanted to face again. And that is where the real danger begins. Because once the key is turned, it does not just open a door, it opens everything that was ever locked away. At the center of this nightmare stands the protagonist, a person who is not new to fear. They are not stepping into this darkness by accident. Their connection to the supernatural world runs deep, tied to events from the past that never truly left them. The trailer makes it clear, this is not just another haunting for them. It is personal. From the beginning, we see signs that this character has already lived through something terrifying. Their eyes carry memory. Their silence carries pain. Even when they try to act normal, there is always a feeling that something is still following them. Something they cannot fully explain to others, but can never escape either. As the story moves forward, the protagonist is pulled back into the same world they once tried to leave behind. The return of the key, the return of the further, and the return of the darkness all seem connected to them in ways they do not fully understand. It is as if fate has chosen them once again. What makes their journey more intense is the emotional weight they carry. This is not just about fighting spirits or surviving haunted places. It is about facing fear that has lived inside them for years. Fear they thought they had buried. Fear that is now rising again, stronger than before. The trailer shows moments where the protagonist tries to resist. They try to ignore the signs. They try to convince themselves that nothing is wrong. But the world around them keeps breaking apart. Reality refuses to stay stable. And slowly, they realize they cannot run anymore. There is also a growing sense of responsibility. It becomes clear that they might be the only one who can stop what is coming, not because they are the strongest, but because they are already connected to it. The darkness knows them. It recognizes them, and it is waiting for them. This creates a heavy emotional struggle. Every step forward feels like a sacrifice. Every decision comes with risk. If they move forward, they may lose everything. If they step back, the darkness will spread further. There is no easy choice anymore. As the trailer builds toward its final moments, the protagonist stands at the edge of a breaking point. The fear is no longer outside them. It is everywhere around them and inside them. The key, the past, and the further are all pulling them into one final direction. And the question remains, will they survive what they are about to unlock? Or will they become part of the darkness they are trying to stop?